Good afternoon, everybody. This is Xavier with the BarbaraCares Foundation, and I am excited today. We are finishing up on our 5 week PSA campaign through the foundation. As many of you all know, we have launched a 5 week Broken Silence awareness campaign through the BarbaraCares Foundation. This campaign was truly important for us because there are so many different layers that is a part of a breast cancer journey. We kicked off week number 1 with mental health, kicked off week number 2 with healthy eating, healthy living. We kicked off week number 3 with resources. We kicked off week number 4 with those that are leading the charge in the medical industry. And week number 5 is special for me because as my mother went through breast cancer, her main theme was I got to keep hope. I have to keep hope. I have to keep hope. And so this week, we are highlighting survivors, those that have traveled this journey, those have fought, those that have persevered, and those that have remained and kept the hope. And I am joined today with two dynamic women. One of them is a true inspiration to me, and I just applaud you, Miss McElroy. I applaud you, Marinthia, and I just want to just hear your story. And today, as I said, we are highlighting survivors, and we just want to just encourage people that are going through this journey to maintain their hope. And so I just wanted to start first and foremost is thank you for being with us today. And if you could share your story of what fueled your fight as you battled breast cancer. And I'll yield it to you, Miss Elroy.
Thank you very much. And thank you for calling me up and allowing me to be a part of this. I can say I'm blessed. Okay, what fueled my fire when I was going through breast cancer was the fact that I had taken out the time in the beginning to when I first found out about it to give it to God. When I was first diagnosed, it was because I had was I guess I was determined to find out what was wrong. I had felt a lump, and I had already had my mammograms done repeatedly for the last I don't know how many years. But I felt a lump, and I needed to get back in there to get it checked. So I had to go through the channels, calling in, see if I can get an appointment, and I got pushed back from the staff there, telling me I had to have my doctor to get it approved. Then I told them no problem, go ahead and schedule my appointment. So then when I called my doctors, I was had pushed back there also because they were telling me that I had to come in for him to see me before he can refer me. And I pushed back and I told him that, no matter what he said, if he approved it or not, I was still going.
Right.
So my thing was being determined. Once
Yes.
they told me I had it, I was determined this wasn't going to get me.
Yes.
I had already said I was going to be a fighter, and I was going to be a fighter. So when, like I said, once I got in there and got my appointment, They did determine by doing the digital exam that I did have uh, some lumps. And my thing is, if your insurance covers digital, you recommend that they do the digital first because digital is more high tech and it actually would cut back on you waiting and not knowing.
Absolutely.
So when we got in there and they detected that I had the two lumps, then I went to the next step where they did the sonogram and then they did the went for the biopsies. So uh, my problem then again I had to push back was because I wasn't getting my results back timely manner. If you're promised a certain amount of days that you're gonna get those results back and you haven't heard from nobody, you start pushing back. It's your body.
Absolutely.
It's your uh how do you say it? There's something that it's your right to know what's going on. So you push back and you get the results you need. If it takes you standing on your tiptoes and screaming, you do that. If it takes you
Yes.
going above to the next level of management, you do that.
Yes.
Don't give up. Don't wait. Push back. Uh, once I finally got my results back, I was given beautiful surgeon, breast cancer doctor. She was a strong lady. She was a fighter. She told me that she was gonna like me because she can tell in my talking that I was a fighter. So she asked me after my first exam, first consultation with her, what was my goals, what did I want, and was and I told her I'm ready to fight. I said, this was something that was given. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to sit down on it. So we went from there and we fought.
Wow.
But before I did all that, when I first got my results, I did call in some support. I that my daughter know, which was on the line listening to me when I was finally got off from my doctor. I let her know that was she was my number one cheerleader. She was in school and she was a cheerleader. I was number one cheerleader. I was her number one cheerleader. So in turn, it turned around.
Wow.
Uh, I would tell everybody, if you have support team, please allow them to be there with you. Try
Yeah.
not to hold no secrets. Try not to, if you got some concerns or issues, get the results, get the answers. Don't just sit on them. Um, you're in church, utilize your pastor, utilize some church members that's there. There's some people that are there that's willing to help and willing to listen. I know a lot of people are so private that they don't have they feel that they can't trust people. You pray on it, let it go. So we did that, and I went through the surgeries. And when I did my surgery, uh, I had to have a mastectomy. They found the two lumps in my breast and in my lymph nodes. And the good thing about it, before we had the surgery, my oncologist wouldn't approve it until we had the PET scan. And with the PET
Wow.
scan, of course, it scans the full body to see if cancer has gone anywhere else.
Right.
So my cancer was contained. You know, my doctor had told me there was nothing that I did wrong, that I did everything I was supposed to by being determined. She even checked back on about 8 years of my mammograms, and she saw that pictures was consistent, and that she don't know where the ball was bounced, where it was dropped at.
Wow.
But she said, main thing again is being determined. When they did the surgery, they found 32 lymph nodes that looked cancerous. So she removed them. And when she removed those 32, which she said she got everything she thought was there, the 32, there was 29 of them that tested positive.
Wow. Mm.
And when she came back with the results to tell me about it, she told me that she had gotten everything. Now I've heard people say that when they went back for results, they found out that either they cut it too short and some was left there. Still,
Yes.
don't give up hope. Don't
Yeah.
give up hope. Hope. Go ahead and get it done. Don't wait. Main thing is don't wait till a better day, because
Mm.
who knows when a better day is. So we did that. I went through radiation. I went through chemo first after the surgery. One thing I didn't, I don't know if you knew, I worked our way through my chemo.
Wow.
I did. I didn't take out. I started chemo on a Thursday. I had been off 6 weeks with the breast removals, and I had just went back to work. I went back to work 3 days after I had started my chemo. So I
Wow.
went through chemo every day. I would, uh, I would go to work. I worked overtime, so I covered my time. Even though I had time I could have used,
Right.
I did overtime to cover my time off of work, and I would work and I do my chemo on Thursday, and I came back to work on Friday.
Mm.
The doctors are going to tell you that told me that it was going to be certain stages that I things would go through. You have a sick day, you have a down day, you have this day. I had none of those days. All of my days was the same.
Wow.
I had no I had no sickness throughout my chemo.
Wow.
So I was able to do all the chemo, the strong chemo and then the mild chemo, and then I was able to celebrate because it was all done.
Wow.
So my main thing is support,
Yes.
talk, listen, research. That's basically it.
And as you were sharing your story, first of all, I just want to just applaud you for being resilient, because there could have been someone that if they had got some pushback from their doctor, said, well, you've already had mammograms. Let's just wait for another
Yeah,
year
they've
until your
stopped.
next schedule. And so I just appreciate the fight that you did, and I think that that will help a lot of people to recognize that it's their body. Nobody knows their body better than them. And so if you
Thank
think
you.
something is out of whack, if you think something is wrong, trust your instinct. And I know there were some conversations that I had with my mother, and she battled breast cancer 3 times, and there were times when some things just didn't sit right with her, and as you mentioned, she would follow up with her oncologist. She would follow up and try to get the answers that she needed that was satisfactory for her. And I think that's important for people to realize that you ask questions until you get an answer that is satisfactory for you. You also talked about, as far
Please.
as the support system, and if I could follow up with that, for people that are not fortunate to have a good support system, what would you tell them to do if they find themselves trying to go this journey alone?
I would tell them, first of all, if you don't have any, if you feel you don't have any support system, main thing is utilize your doctors.
Yeah.
Most doctors, when you go in there, the material they're giving you is not just something just to pack around.
Right.
Read the material. Everything that was in those books that I needed to know about breast cancer, surgeries, the reconstruction, anything I needed to know was in the books. That became my Bibles, and I packed that bag, and I read every piece of literature I was given. Uh, utilize that. Utilize the library. They have some information there, but if you have to go on the internet, I didn't do it. Don't go looking for negative things. Look for anything that's going to uplift you, something that can actually give you the advice and uh, give you the common peace that you need.
Yeah.
My thing when I went through mine was I had 2 words I would use, and it was trust and believe. And people
Wow.
would say, "Well, I'm doing such and such and such." Trust and believe.
I
If
love
you
that.
if you trust and believe that it's gonna work out for you, it's gonna work out for you. Don't
Mm.
go in there saying, "Well, what if?" Don't do that. Leave what if alone.
Yeah.
Try to utilize the information that's given to you. The number one,
Mhm.
utilize the nursing staff and the doctors that you're paying, that your insurance are paying, because they have the knowledge and they have the information. When you come across a question when you're not with them, write it down. I
Right.
did that. I took a tablet in with me, and every question that I had for my doctor when I went in after I read the material, she had answered everything that was on that list.
Wow.
So she said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "You know what? That's the last question. You just answered it." She said, "Are you sure? You sure?" I said, "No." I said, "You gave me information, and the book gave me information, but I
Right.
had a question. I had some concerns about some things when I came across. But when
Right.
I got there, she reassured me because it's just like she knew exactly what I had written down.
Wow.
Utilize it,
Yes.
utilize it. But there are some strong support teams that are out there. I mean, if you don't know them, uh, get with your insurance company. My insurance, and I can say Cigna. Cigna has a strong case management team. They told me things that I didn't know about. They shared me things that they covered that I didn't know they did.
Wow.
So your insurance company or your job may have a support team there that you can actually, if you do work, that you can actually fall on. But utilize that. That way you'll know what you can afford and can't afford with the insurance. And then you may find out some things that they may have some numbers for other people that can help you out,
Right.
because it's support is there. It is there. You just have to open up the door a little bit and allow it to come in. Pray for that person that you're allowing, that you need to speak with, and allow them to help you. or
Yes.
listen to you or give you the feedback you need.
And I love the fact that you said to be knowledgeable of the resources that are available. That was actually one of the weeks that we used to highlight during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, was for people to be aware of the resources that are available. And a lot of people may not know what's available through their insurance. So I appreciate you for mentioning that. If someone does happen to travel this journey, make sure that you utilize your doctors, make sure that you utilize your insurance, make sure that you utilize
Yes.
those that are around you, because there's a host of resources that are available. Sometimes we have to look for them, but they are there. And speaking of resources that you
Yes.
utilize, you mentioned that your daughter was a big resource for you, that she was one of your biggest cheerleaders. And Marinthi, I've been following you for a
Yes.
time, and I know that health and wellness is something that is in your core. I see your post on Facebook, and you inspire me to get fit. I'm not all the way there, but I'm trying to get better. And I just wanted to just ask you, how important is it for you, seeing your mother go through this journey, to be more conscious of living a more health centered life?
Oh, we have the echo.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so it's been important for me seeing my mom go through breast cancer and fight to come out as a survivor. It's I already had the desire to be healthy or live a healthier lifestyle, but it just reinforced it for me. It's like setting the tone for a bit more important for longevity, for not just right now, for like a certain physical goal to look a certain way or to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, but so that I could be able to have a healthier body from the inside.
Gotcha. And I'm going to ask if you could repeat that one more time. I don't know if it was on my end, but I heard a little echo.
You heard an echo? Okay. Yeah, I have an echo right now.
Oh, okay, that's okay. But if you could just repeat that for me, because it sounds like some good information. I just want to make sure that.
Do you still hear the echo?
Just a little bit, yeah.
You say you don't.
Oh, it's perfect now. There we go.
Okay. So I can hear myself talk to that. So I feel like it was very important for me to see my mom come out on top as a survivor, and it reinforced the fact that it's important for me not only to like strive to be fit, to look a certain way, or to be able to achieve certain physical goals, as far as like how much can I lift, or being able to do certain things like that in the gym, but more so important for longevity, for life.
I
Just
love
driving home the point that the nutrients that we take into our bodies support a healthy lifestyle, and the way we take care of our bodies supports how our body is able to take care of us. So it just made a bigger point for me to make sure that I'm able to give myself a fighting chance. I can't expect to do that if I don't have a healthy foundation for myself.
I love that. And you are absolutely right. I think, and I know for me, and watching my mother go through her journey, it really brought a focus to me to be able to be more health mindful of what I'm eating, how I'm living, so that I can have a better quality of life. I wanted to ask you, Ms. McElroy, we are in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are fearful of getting mammograms. There are a lot of people that they don't like the doctors for whatever reason. If we could close out this segment, I just want you to just speak from your heart into what words you would say to someone during October to know the importance of getting a mammogram and doing self checks so that they can have, as Marinthia said, a better quality of life. I need to repeat.
What would you say to encourage someone so they can have a better quality of life?
Asking me, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
So they can have a better quality of life. What would you say to them from your heart? Speak.
From my heart, what I would say to a person so they can have a better quality of life is it after they become a breast survivor?
No, but like before. Like
Before,
yes, ma'am.
the doctors, from my heart, which I didn't do it, is actually try to be as fit as you can, because that's one of the things that they actually encourage is you to make sure you're eating right and you're getting exercise, because I'm one of the blessed ones, because me being obese, it could have went worse for me. But if you can, while you start off now, try to eat what you can, eat right, the things that you know are right, try to exercise, and just be open and honest with yourself. You know, we don't never know if this is going to come your way, but if it do, be prepared. Don't be afraid to go to someone for advice. Don't be afraid to contact your doctors and listen. Don't be afraid to just, to reach out to someone, communicate.
Yes. I love that, and I think that is a good summation of just your testimony to eat well, to have hope, and to continue to fight. That's actually the motto of this foundation: is fight, smile, and fight some more. I actually got mom's boxing gloves right behind me, and I just appreciate you both. I thank you so much for sharing your story, and I pray that it encourages those that may have to go this journey to know that you can survive. And I just hope that others will heed to what you have said. If you see something is off in your body, don't put it off. Press on, do whatever you need to do to make sure that whatever you think might be an issue, that you get it corrected and that you get it addressed. I love y'all, and on behalf of
love you.
I just appreciate y'all, and
thank you for the opportunity
to bless you all, and I just appreciate y'all for being with us today.
Okay. Bye-bye. We're here for you.
Yes, ma'am.